Erythrophobia, fear of blushing, fear of your skin turning red. We're going to talk about that today briefly, so stick around. Erythrophobia. Erythrophobia. It's so hard to say because of the way the R's are placed. Erythrophobia. Erythrophobia. So I'm going to say it however it comes out, and that's what we're going to deal with today. So what we're talking about today is erythrophobia, and that is a fear of blushing. So for most people, that fear of blushing is going to be their face and how they tend to blush in a social setting or when they're embarrassed. But for some of us, such as yours truly, it is a skin flushing that happens across our chest and our neck and up the side of our necks. I don't necessarily get that across my cheeks, but I am so well fortunate to instead get it on my neck, where most people are not used to it happening, and so they tend to think you are just dying. Now, I would think, and if you're a person who has erythrophobia, or if you're a person who, remember, erythrophobia is the fear of the skin flushing, but if you're a person who actually has the skin flushing on your cheeks and you blush a lot, you may beg to differ that we who deal with the chest and neck flushing, that we have it better, or you may say you have it better. So I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. Are you like, I'm glad I don't have it on my chest and neck, I'll take it on my face? Because I personally feel that I would rather have it on my cheeks if I had a choice in the matter, than on my chest and neck, because I think people are more used to commonly seeing people blushing on their face as opposed to splotches and blotches across the neck and the chest that literally make people freak the fuck out. So curious about your thoughts on that. If you have facial flushing, please leave your comment below in the comments so that we can see, do you think we have it worse, or would you prefer that over that if you had a choice? Anyway, so what we're talking about today is we're talking about the fear of flushing, blushing, and all of those things. Because here's the thing, you guys. We are stuck in a crazy freaking cycle of skin flushing, because the more you realize how the skin flushing is tied to your psychology, it's a physiological response. It is involuntarily happening inside of your body. So as much as we may try to take control over it, the least control we realize we have, which then just puts us in a rotation of being afraid of something and then it happening and then being afraid of it again. It reminds me so much of general anxiety disorder, because in 2011, when I suffered from anxiety and depression, you can hear my story about that in other videos, but I'll also link something below that is a link to my book that talks about me overcoming fear and depression and anxiety and suicidal ideations down below. Check that out if you're interested. But basically, in 2011, I had one big thing happen that then tossed me into this general anxiety disorder that I didn't realize what that was. But general anxiety disorder is where you are anxious and then you're kind of fearful of being anxious. So then you just become anxious over and over again. And you basically keep yourself in this cycle of anxiety and you can never come out of it. I mean, you can come out of it, but unless you can break out of it just on your own, you don't just come out of it. So with the erythrophobia, it's something very similar. It's a cycle that will repeat itself over and over again. And so if you go out into a social setting, you start to feel that flushing happening, whether that's on your face or somewhere on your skin. And then you start to internally dialogue that you are out of control. And then your physiological symptoms start to take place, rapid heartbeat. You may have shallow breathing, things that basically adrenaline just shoots through your body, fight or flight shoots through your body, and then you start having a skin flushing reaction that is physiological. It's just something that's going to happen to you. And it's easy to feel very hopeless about it because there's really no black or white answer to turn it off. And even for myself, I've been telling some of you guys, I'll post it again here because I like to talk about my period, is that I've been, let's see if I can see it. I've been tracking so far my menstrual cycle, because you do have hormones that can affect the skin flushing. Now, I had somebody reach out to me the other day in one of the comments, and they said that it may be caffeine related and that they were actually going to try to detox from caffeine because they read about how caffeine can cause skin flushing, and they are 100% correct because it absolutely can cause skin flushing. I have done a 30-day detox from caffeine before, got rid of all of it. And fortunately, unfortunately, I still flushed. And I say fortunately, unfortunately, because I love coffee and I like caffeine. But that could absolutely be part of skin flushing. Just like for other people, it's a histamine intolerance to certain foods. But that was not for me when I did my tracking. So, that's why I talk about all of this here, because it may be yours if you want to go down that path yourself. So anyway, for me personally, I'm tracking my cycle because I have a feeling it has something to do with either estrogen or progesterone. I'm thinking progesterone right now, and you can find videos about that here on my channel as well. So back to the point though, is that with erythrophobia, you are going to have a physiological reaction. You're going to have, what's this word? Vasodilation. Vasodilation, where your blood vessels will widen and oxygen and blood will flow through really fast with the adrenaline pumping through your body, that then brings that so close to the surface. I don't know that I'm really flashing right now. Brings it so close to the surface, either on your face or on your neck, chest, arms, all those things. And it's going to have that appearance. You know, what's so interesting is that when you feel, I know that you guys can feel that coming on, you can feel the heat happen. Like right now, I actually feel like I should be flushing, but I'm not. Like, I'm really hot right now. Oh, those are just cystic. I've got some weird stuff going on with my skin right now. These cystic like pimples keep coming right there. But I'm not super flushed right now, but I feel like I should be. But according to my little handy dandy chart, I'm thinking that the progesterone is dipped right now. Anyway, another day. But having that blood dilate through or flush through your system, making the what's the word? Blood vessels will dilate. Oh my gosh. So sorry guys. Side note, maybe I should lay off that caffeine a little bit. I've had a lot today. So anyway, what it does though is it just keeps us in this fear cycle where then you become socially anxious because you don't want to be seen. And I just want to get a shout out right now to a follower named Taylor who reached out to me and posted this really cool thing on Instagram, just giving a shout out to the channel. And Taylor is a performer. She is on a stage, and I was looking through her Instagram page, and she very much is front and center in her life and a lot of different things. But I was so encouraged by you, Taylor, because I looked through your pictures, and I saw your YouTube channel, and I saw that you are a singer and that you're a performer, and that it looks like that actually hasn't stopped you. Even if you're feeling fearful of this unsightly thing, you are continuing to lean in and you keep going, and that encourages me so much. I actually got a little emotional earlier because I realized that we all feel like we are so alone, but the more that we communicate here and get to know each other here, we realize it's actually not that weird. It might feel weird in our own circles because it doesn't happen very often to the people around us, but knowing that you are out there just makes me feel so much more able to conquer hard things because I know I'm not alone in it. And when you've journeyed through things alone and you've learned how to kind of, what they say, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, isn't that what they say? You learn how to just push through and press forward in hard situations. But man, when you know that you're not alone and that people are with you in this, and there's other people on the journey trying to figure it out too, you just feel that much more empowered. And so here's the thing, my friends. You can either be empowered or disempowered. And disempowered is falling victim to erythrophobia. And I'm not saying that's just something that goes away because I give you a positive talk. But it is a cycle that happens in our mind where we get boxed in feeling and can easily become feeling very hopeless. And that is so disempowering, knowing that you don't have a choice, that you don't want to be seen, and you can fall into that cycle of that lowly place. But you can also become incredibly empowered if you take responsibility for where you're headed and what your dreams and goals are, and that you will not shy away because of skin flushing, even if you have to explain yourself a million times over to let people know this is just a thing that happens, or maybe educate yourself enough to know how to give a 20-second version of what's happening to your body so that they are not freaking out. Let me tell you, they are probably more uncomfortable than you actually are. We get uncomfortable because we don't want to be seen that way, but they get uncomfortable because they don't know what's going on with us. So everybody's uncomfortable in that moment, but we can help kind of break down those barriers by just explaining a little bit. And hey, I've done that and they still didn't understand, and they still keep staring at it and wondering if I'm dying. So we're going to take it day by day. That's what we're going to do. So in conclusion here, erythrophobia is the fear of skin flushing. It is the fear, psychological, that you are out of control, and then it circulates in these social settings that then make you incredibly anxious in a social environment or being in a public speaking environment and things of that nature. Here's what we're going to do about it. What do we do about erythrophobia? Keep researching, keep asking questions, keep testing, do things like this. Like, you know what? I have a hunch that maybe this has to do with hormones during my cycle. So I came off of birth control because I thought maybe it was the synthetic hormones. So I got off of the birth control. My doctor was of no help, honestly. And then I just started tracking things for myself. Another thing that we're doing, if you need exposure therapy, I would love to have you even speak with me on this channel. We could do a Zoom call. I can record it and we can talk through some of the things that are your challenges with your flushing, whether that be your face or your neck or your chest. And we'll just talk about it face to face, and you can flush in front of me all day long if you want, and we'll just record it and show it here for the world. Start your own channel. Start your own channel. You can use your phone. You can use a camera. Start somewhere and just turn that freaking camera on and start talking to it or performing in front of it or whatever it is that makes you so uncomfortable. Get in front of a camera and just YouTube. You guys, if I could figure it out, I promise you could figure it out. Google and YouTube are your best friend to be able to help you figure out how to figure it out. So let yourself have exposure therapy to it. This is running super long, so I'm going to hurry up here. And talk to your doctor about erythrophobia. I have to look back at the word because it's really hard. Erythrophobia. Talk to your doctor about erythrophobia. And if you're talking to a psychiatrist, someone who might be able to help with certain medications and things of that nature, that is your choice. I am choosing the route to not have medication involved until I have completely looked in every freaking area that I can find. And if you ever go out there and look at why does my skin flush, why do I turn red, there's a list of reasons why. So that's up to you. This is your journey. This is for you to do the groundwork to try to figure out what is going on with your body. Feel free to hang out here, hang out in the comments, talk to other subscribers here. And also feel free to follow me on Instagram. You can see that information in my about area and at the beginning, and I think at the end of this, my intro and my outro here. Feel free to follow on Instagram because there are quite a few people over there that experience a lot of skin flushing, erythrophobia, things in that category. So start a conversation with people that are having something similar happening inside of them. But don't do this alone. Whatever you do, don't do this alone, and don't fall into that disempowered place that there are no options, there's nothing that can be done, you're stuck with this forever, and don't let it stop you. No matter what you do, don't let it stop you, because you are not alone. We are in this together. We're all on this journey trying to figure out what the hell is going on here. And I honestly believe that we will find the answers that we're looking for, and that we will see a reduction, if not completely gone, in this red flushing on our face or in our body. But I think it's going to have to do with changing our mind. And I also think it's going to have to come with radical acceptance of, but what if it never goes away? Do we just hide for forever until we die because we didn't want anybody to see that we turn red? Like that, follow that. If you hide right now because you never want to be seen again because of this redness, what? Like, I'm hearing myself say it out loud because I know I felt that way before too, that I don't want to deal with this anymore. I don't want to walk around with this anymore. I don't want to be seen with this anymore. But when I think about the fulfillment that I have in my life because I get to connect with people, or because I get to speak or talk about my writing, if I think about taking that away completely, it just feels very void. And I feel like if I was on the other side of this life and I look back and thought, I hid myself in a corner because I didn't want anybody to see me turn red, that just sounds like crazy to me. So I am not wanting to for a second make light of your situation. I just want you to know that you are empowered in this journey, and that we are going to go on this journey together, and we're going to stick to this course, and we're going to be all right one way or the other, with the redness or without the redness. But that's what we're all here for, is to find that radical acceptance, to look for answers and look for solutions to this as well. Okay, super long video. This is not my norm, but I will catch you all in my next video. What is today? Tuesday. Okay, tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow. See you guys.